Tonight's special guest is Neil Budgen from Seriously Sorted. Many baby boomers own their own business and hope to retire with a tidy nest egg. Will it happen? Do you have the proper exit strategy in place? What about Plan B? These questions all answered tonight with our special guest. We welcome Neil Budgen as our special guest on The Beat Goes On. Neil Budgen, welcome to The Beat Goes On. Wonderful to have you here.
Great to be here.
You have a company called Seriously Sorted. How did it all come about, Neil?
I've been in business for 25 years, and from a very early time in my business, I noticed other business owners reaching the point where either they or their business needed to finish, and they were virtually all unsuccessful for a whole variety of reasons. One guy I can think of, he was sued by a client, and basically he wasn't quite covered for a few things, and it basically cost him his house. He was in his early 60s, so he's lost his business, lost his house. Other people have got ill, and they've been tradespeople having trade businesses, and so their sickness meant they had to finish with their business, and they didn't get anything like the value from their businesses that they would have hoped. None of them were sold.
So what you're saying is they're all sitting there, they've got their businesses, and in their mind, these are my funds for my retirement.
Absolutely.
And let's look at the statistics here. How many baby boomers, 60-year-olds, are out there
50%
ready to exit their business?
57% of all new businesses in New Zealand are owned by people who are over 50.
Right.
And 64% of those are planning on retiring from their business in the next 10 years. Most people that I know who've got businesses, all I can say is that the chances of them achieving anything like their expectations are extremely small, and they're getting smaller as time goes by. For lots of things are changing in the world.
So the question is, what do you see as the biggest mistake a lot of these people are going to make? What's the first big mistake they're going to make?
The first big mistake they make is they think they've got all the time in the world. I regularly hear people saying, I don't need to think about exit because I'm not going to have no intention of exiting for 4, 6, 8 years. The reality is that most proper exit plans actually take that amount of time. Quite simply, the biggest reason it's going to take 4 years is most people in business, if not everybody in business, their accounts will be drawn up to be tax efficient, thereby demonstrating how little money their business earns in order to pay, quite legally, the smallest amount of tax. If you come to sell your business and you put tax efficient accounts in front of a prospective buyer, they are going to see a business of minimal value. You can't then turn around to these prospective buyers and say, but these figures aren't the real deal.
Yeah.
Actually, I get shed loads of cash, but don't tell the IRD.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. So that's one reason why you need to be planning at least,
5 to 6 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got a plan. How are you going to convert your tax efficient accounts to profit based accounts? How is it going to look? What is the cost going to be to you? Who is going at the end of this period? You want to be selling your business or moving on in one form or another. So yeah, immediately you've got 5 to 6 year plan. It isn't 5 to 6 years worth of work, but it's like most things, it's about preparation. You get to get the preparation right, and you've got to get it in early.
What's the first thing they have to do to make sure that the exit's going to be as they plan it to be?
Well, stick a date on it.
Stick a date on it.
One of the worst things that can happen is business owners get stale. They don't make any plans, they don't work to the plans, and then they get tired and they've got nowhere to go really, and the business stagnates and it loses money, loses value dramatically in a very, very short period of time.
Now if everything goes right and you're called Seriously Sorted, and you take a business and you do seriously sort it, how will that business look?
An example is one of my clients earlier, about a year ago, had an expectation of selling his business for At least $500,000. I was really hoping for between 6 and 7, but 500,000 was really his bottom line. Found a very keen purchaser. Lots of good reasons for buying the business. Really wanted it. Due diligence, and they offered 120,000 with apologies, but that's
all they saw as what the business was worth.
And I worked with that company for the seller for 4 months, and the original company re-offered 480,000,
which is tremendous.
It's a big difference.
Yes, exactly.
And basically, all we've done was record more of what the business did. If you actually look at how businesses grow, a person starts a business, and they're very good at something. Often it's the doing the business. So, butchers, bakers, candlestick makers start butchery, bakery, candlestick making businesses. They don't need to record how they do their butchery, bakery or candlestick making. They just get on with it. When they get too busy and can't handle the volume of work, they get somebody else in. At this moment in time, there is no documented system on how to do it. So they tell them how to do it, they show them how to do it, and they learn. And then they carry on. And this goes through the whole of the business, the bookkeeping, the marketing, everything. It just grows. People show people what to do. That's what we do here. Now, when you come to sell your business, people, if you want some serious money for it, people who've got $500,000 to put on the table and say, hey, I'll take it off you. What they want to see is the documented systems that demonstrate how they're going to get their money back. They don't want to be talking to people. Often they want to buy the business and put a manager in, and they want to know how the business works. A lot of the systems are there, but the key elements of the documentation aren't there. Part of the exit strategy and exit planning has to be to deal with that. Part of the role that people like me undertake is to document it for them. Often, bosses actually have been superseded by their staff, and their staff are often quite capable of doing a lot of the work that the boss thinks only the boss can do. Yeah. And it's quite interesting once you actually talk to the staff and say to them, what do you think that you can do that you're currently not allowed to do? And you go and talk to the boss and say, hey, what can't you give your staff to do? Generally speaking, neither has got it completely right. The staff have missed certain key elements, but also the boss and the owner hasn't recognised a lot of the skills of the staff and things they are capable of doing.
So it all boils down, Neil, that a lot of people just have this, it'll all come right on the night or it'll all come right on the day, but you have to start planning now, don't you?
Absolutely. 87% of business owners have got no exit plan, and 87% of business owners probably will never have an exit plan. It will be one of those things, a bit like New Year's resolutions. It will pop into their head at some stage, we'll do it tomorrow. And they might even start, they might even make a start, but very quickly what will happen, something will happen in their business which will draw them back into working on, doing what the business needs to do. And the exit plan will go sideways, and it will stay sideways.
Now, as a baby boomer, of course, one of those things that can make that gives you a bit of a fright is the fact that you have a little bit of ill health. I mean, that is the biggest wake-up call, isn't it?
It is for a lot of people. Sometimes that's it. It's too late. People get. I mean, I've known several people who've had some sort of serious surgery. It's taken them months to be fit enough to work again. It was mainly sort of tradespeople.
But it gives them an idea that they've got nothing prepared for an exit. From your point of view, it's start the conversation.
Start the conversation, absolutely.
Now, how do they get hold of you, Neil, if they want to have a chat with you about...
SeriouslySorted.com.
Seriously Sorted. That's pretty simple. We'll put that up on the screen.
The conversation's important.
Yeah.
And whether you have it with me or whether you have it with an accountant or somebody else.
Or a nice glass of wine.
Or a nice glass of wine, yeah, absolutely.
All right, Neil, hey, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Telling and warning, I should say, warning baby boomers who have their business, who think that this is going to be their
nest egg for retirement, that it doesn't always run to plan, does it?
Does not always run to plan. You need a plan B,
Yeah.
if not a plan C as well.
Great. Thank you, Neil.
Thank you.